Hey guys, Dallasberry here, and today I'm going to be talking about the Joey Sturgis Tones SOAR tape delay plugin. So, yeah, let's hear these tracks without the plugin now because you just heard them with. So yeah, let's check her out. Cool. All right, so today we're mainly going to be working with this rhythm track here and just some of the stuff that I have tracked on it. So we have the single note, just a single low E that's being plucked. It's going to come up here. Okay, so that is without, and then there is a touch of reverb on the amp simulator that I have loaded right now, and then just it's just all just super slightly mixed, just so all the tracks are not impeding on each other as much. Yeah, so from there, let's go ahead and open up the source. So with this note here, we can demo quite a bit. So to start from the top down, so we have our overall delay pattern slash rhythm. So we have 1/2, 2/3, 3/1, single, which works kind of as a regular delay, and then multi, which will go between these and use some others as well. And then we also have a 15 and 30 speed. So this will essentially manipulate how fast the grains are being collected, by the delay. Yeah, essentially it'll be either at 15 or 30 speed regarding this, and just how fast the attack will go. And I find this mainly is important for obviously just the repeats of delay, the overall age, and flutter more than anything, because health will just naturally go and help resonate and give a little more backbone to those delays. So repeats, that's pretty self-explanatory. And then just it determines how long the repeats can go. The age, that is talking about how well the overall tone will last for the repeats. So if you have repeats a little bit higher, the age will start to overall show more often than if you don't have a lot of repeats. Then the health, that is just as I mentioned, just your just the resonance. And then the flutter is talking about the grain that is selected, and sometimes you'll get some overtones and undertones, and it depends on how those will like to essentially stack or come at each other, or just talk about the overall delays delaying with each other. So that will make sure that that's more of a fluttery and not really, it's not just stacking or anything like that. Give it a little more of a dreamy sound too. And then, of course, if you don't have the flutter, then you're not going to hear, the movement of those overtones and undertones. So, just based on the grain that's selected. So with that, that's where you'll be able to, well, I typically like to have about 50%. So it's still there a little bit, but it's not going to be a major, factor of it. And then last but not least, on the contour section, on the tape delay section, I have the contour. So how tape delays work, essentially they will expand the whole waveform. And, so if you have higher hertz ranges, those are shorter wavelengths. Thus, they will be expand out longer in the repeats. However, if you go and have the contour down, so it allows the lower ranges to resonate and lower, because those wavelengths are longer, they will be delayed longer. And the pitch, or well, rather the frequencies that are put out and by the wet mix and just overall delays, that's where just over time it'll you'll hear the high frequencies just fade out, and they eventually will fall into the sub frequencies if you let them, or in and sub frequencies. So that's where a lot of times I like to have my contour about 220, or 220 hertz or so, just because it's like you're still kind of getting like some of the bass range, but it fades out. It doesn't really get super low into the sub range too far. And then, nowhere near like an 808 or a kick drum or anything like that, which that would be kind of devastating, because lower wavelengths don't really like to resonate into chords or anything like that. And thankfully, when I tried and had the health and repeats and age and flutter all the way up and the contour all the way down, I was sitting there for a good 8 minutes and it was still going. So yeah, that's I don't quite want to bore you with 8 minutes of of the SOAR just processing, but yeah, so let's get started. So with these delay rhythms and patterns, so I will play this example on, and I'll go through a couple of these, starting with the 30 speed and then going to the 15 speed, and y'all will notice how the grain will slightly change. I'll increase the flutter as well a little bit. So while I go through the samples and watch me do the adjustments, enjoy. 2/3. 3/1. And then single. Reminds me of a normal delay. And then let's do multi. So multi will go through all these, and then based off of a waveform type function, pretty similar to modular. Ooh, you almost got that little like flange in there. That's cool. All right, and then let's take it off the 15 speed, or on to the 15 speed, and put it back at 1/2. Okay, and then 2/3. Okay, so as we end up seeing there, so as we end up changing this, obviously just how the delays ran out were, they're definitely a lot more, it just determined the rhythm of them, which then you can also have set based on the BPM. So that is where, and then that multi, you could definitely hear how it just kind of bounced between all of them depending on the waveform. Um, Not sure what the waveform is, but yep. And then obviously too, you can definitely see even with this and the display 15 speed. It's literally just yeah. So this is referring to the grain that is being grabbed. So I'll explain that in a bit. So let's hear this. Here, I'll turn the repeats up to 40%. Then let's go ahead and put everything to 50%, or at least as close as possible, and then accept the contour. I'll leave the contour as such. Then let's keep it at 15 speed. Or sorry, yeah. Let's keep it at 15 speed. And then I'm going to have the hertz range. Yeah, I'll keep that. Try to get 200. Okay, that works. So, yep. And then I'll mention as well, so with these rhythms, the track is set at 120 beats per minute. I have these delays, well, at least for this rhythm track and the tapping lead track, I have those set at 60. 60 is the lowest that you can go with the beats per minute, and then the highest is 200. And then the millisecond options, which those are two separate brackets, thankfully, goes from 1,000 to 100. Obviously, you can have feedback or no feedback, tap tempo, or host sync. So I'd imagine this is for MIDI use, and if you have anything that is sequencing your track or anything like that, some other delays and tape delays, which work very similar. So yeah, that's where. And then a lot of the tracks, I like to keep them about, lower 30s in the percentage of, dry to wet. Just because if you have it wet too much, that's essentially, it's just going to sound way too washed out, and it's not a good type of ambient. And yeah, that's where you'll notice after. Here, I'll show you. So let's go. Here, yeah, let's have this 31. Let's play the note. Okay. And then let's swap it over to the dry. Let's bring it. There you go. So you could definitely hear what it did there. So essentially it was just the overall delay that was played first, not even the note. So yeah, essentially, and especially from where the music started compared to where the grade was, or where the marker was with the note. So that's also another indicator. So let's see here. And then, yep, so let's bring it to 1/2. Let's go ahead and bring the age all the way down. And then I'll bring the repeats up a little more. Okay, and then let's bring the age back to 50%. And then let's go ahead, bring it to 100. All right, so as we could see, at least those delays were definitely being, um, let's see, okay, yep, and then yeah, those, yeah. So as we could see, those delays were, essentially just as time went by. Um, yeah, that's just where the attack of the notes, they still held on, and just overall, like, it kept a lot of the tonality in there just as the delay kept kept repeating. So let's go ahead and bring the health all the way down. Okay. Let's give it 50%. Then bring it to 100. Yep. So that's definitely where you could hear more of the resonance of the notes. Still keeping the wholesomeness there. Yes, and of course the age is still at 100%. Let's bring my. I'm sorry. Let's go ahead and bring the age to 50%. We're super close. Yep. So you could definitely tell with the health being up, that yeah, definitely held on to the resonance of the note just overall. In the overall sample that was being delayed. So now let's go ahead. Let's bring this here. Let's try to get the original selections here. Enter down. It's up in the mix. And then, yep. Let's keep that there. Now, let's go ahead and move to this polyrhythm here. So, with this, these are my current settings right now. Let's send it off of bypass. And then let's go and play. That's yeah. So that's where I have. Yep, poly. Okay. Yep. So that's where I have the beats per minute set to 80, and that's because, as you heard, it was more more of on a polyrhythm, and so I still have this at the 1/2 time, still at 15. But then with this, let's bring it towards the end, like where I hit the last notes, and then yeah, let's go ahead and now see what we can do with the flutter. I'm gonna change a few of the settings here. Bring the back up to our 50 or 50 percentage or super close. And then we have our contour down at 100 or so. Let's bring that up. Okay, and then from here, we'll bring the flare all the way down, and let's see how that sounds. Okay. Yep, and so let's go ahead and bring that to 50%. definitely carries those undertones a bit. And then let's go ahead. Bring the flutter all the way up. Okay, so let's bring it over to this last section. I played this isolated a bit. There you go. Yeah, so you can definitely tell when there's more attack. You know, uh, you can definitely hear that flutter. So let's even bring that back down to our 50%. Okay. Now let's go even. Let's bring back 30 speed and keep this at 50. Okay. Now I'm gonna bring the contour down, and I'll just let y'all see how this will fade out. Bring this up. So like I mentioned, the contour, when I lower that, it will go and let the lower ranges and frequencies still be played. So the plugin, that's where just anything that is ran through that signal chain, obviously, it will still keep going, once it doesn't run. So once it doesn't have anything running into that signal chain. So that's also where, too, we had it selected just so it hit that note, and it's only going to, or that last, it's only going to go and delay that. So, and a couple notes before that, but still. So, yeah, that is, let's see here. Yeah, I'll try to restore these options how I had it, and then. Oh, yeah, so here. I'll explain as well why this example is good to have this at 80 BPM too. So, very simply, I'll just go and play that track in 60, and then I'll play it in 80, and you all will definitely be able to see why. Even though it doesn't sound bad, but just because of how everything stacks up, I really like the math of it and how it, when I have this polyrhythm set to 80 beats per minute, that it stacks with the doubling of the 120, especially of how I have this picked out. So it's like 80 and then 40 and then, and so on. So. So like that in itself, that in itself just creates its own polyrhythm, so that's where, and then it'll do that. But if we slap this back to 80, which will definitely do that, especially all together, it sounds way better and it doesn't mud anything else out. So that's also where too, if I hadn't mentioned already, it's best to have a lot of your tape delays at maybe 40% maximum, unless if the song absolutely calls for that. Just because it just sounds way too washy, and yes, so that's where Yeah, let's now let's play this at 80. And then let's play it with this rhythm. So if we had that back at 60, it kind of just washes out into what the rhythm is doing. So that's where I wanted the the delays of this poly to go and essentially ring out, resonate with itself, and especially just use the fact that it's a triad and essentially make it would be like a little bit of a chord voicing, but not but it's still keeping that rhythm just with the strumming pattern. So yeah. Last but not least, let's talk briefly about this lead here. Here, let me go make sure I have my other windows closed. Okay. All right. Now this lead. So let's play that solo. Okay. And then let's play that. Okay, yep. And then I chose to have this on the 2/3 because it's not a simple it's not a simple rhythm. It's not a da 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 or a 1 2 3 4 1 2. It's a da 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 ba da ba ba da ba ba da. And I felt that having the 2/3 would be best, for this. So, and then yeah, I have the age high just because I want that pick attack from my tapping to still carry over, and I also have this at 60 beats per minute. Also about okay, yeah, this is about it's a little higher just because I wanted the tapping and still just resonate and stuff, especially because you have to if you're not going to manipulate how how loud the signal chain is or anything before doing anything tapping wise, it's good to have a little more wet mix. So yeah, that's where obviously I have the contour still still at at 150 hertz. The repeats you don't want super far. The age obviously I kept for that. I still kept some health in there. Though I mean obviously there's more treble notes, so they don't have to like really resonate. And then the flutter, kept that in there just obviously because of the attack of the actual tapping. Yeah, so let's go ahead and unmute all this and play her out, and yeah, enjoy. Yeah, there you have it. So that is the Joey Sturgis Tones SOAR tape delay. Yeah, great plugin. I use tape delays all the time, so I had the opportunity to review this, and I said, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so I have 31 Sleepy Boy songs I've released so far this year, which they all have numerous tracks of tape delays and stuff like that on there, and then I use tape delay on all of my solo guitar stuff. So if you're interested in hearing any of that material, I have the One Sleepy Boy Facebook page, as well as all the One Sleepy Boy content I have on the Dallas Berry official YouTube channel. And then on top of the Dallas Berry official YouTube channel being a source for all things that are Dallas Berry related, it's where I also have the Dallas Berry Music Facebook page, and I have the Dally CB underscore himself user on Instagram that I post. Thanks everyone, and hope you enjoyed, and hope this was educational.